So this is like, have y'all seen the coffee and chill movement from Miami? You guys need to get out and wake up. I'm telling y'all.
I need to come to Austin more
Y'all
often.
need to.
There's a movement we're not aware of.
Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates.
and coaches by building
Better
boxes.
Welcome to
The best hour of your day.
Today's episode is brought to you by ENLIFTED. As a best hour listener, you know that training your mind is just as important as training your body. ENLIFTED provides elite coaches and affiliates with practical, powerful mindset tools that can transform your athletes, your gym's culture, and give you an unshakable edge as an affiliate owner. Learn more by signing up for your free mindset training at enlifted.me/best hour. ENLIFTED, mindset simplified, results amplified.
Jeremy Thiel back at it. We were here, what?
Move your mic up a little bit. Yep, there you go.
Was that
See
we're
that?
doing this?
Hey, that was great feedback I just gave you.
That was a good verbal cue. But we're back at it.
Do you know that you were the second ever in real life podcast?
Is that true?
we did.
I heard you said that, but I don't know if it's
We
true.
came here whenever that was, a couple years ago, and John Wolf, and then we came here, I think, like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, we did a little. We didn't do dropping ins. We were just
No,
touring.
This was when we were like, hey, let's start doing in real life podcasts.
And we were here. And here we are at CrossFit Central, one of
Yes.
two locations.
Yes,
So you got CrossFit. This is the downtown, or is this?
downtown,
And then the other one's Central.
Burnett Road,
But what's it called?
CrossFit Central.
I feel like we're on Who's On First. There's
Yes.
CrossFit Central.
So the original CrossFit Central gym is the Burnett Road location,
Gotcha.
and then this is CrossFit Central downtown.
So one of the
Downtown,
things we
got it.
want to talk about is having two very different You said there's millions of people here, and about 10,000.
So my other CrossFit affiliate in Fredericksburg, Texas.
Oh, you have three.
Yes.
You're
So
blowing our
it
minds
gets
right now.
really,
What's happening right now, everybody?
So Carrie Kepler, my sister, and I
Right.
started CrossFit Central together.
Right.
Burnett Road.
Burnett Road. That was the original gym. She owns that gym.
Okay.
I own
100%.
downtown. She owns that 100%. I own downtown
100%.
100%. We brand, market, brother, sister gym, but we run it under the same brand.
Has it always been that way?
No.
Was there a point in time where, like, we're going to murder each other?
Not so
So we
much.
need to, but we're not being good brothers and sisters.
Yes,
Yeah.
so more when we started having families and things started getting separate, like in that sense, it was just better to separate and
Yeah.
run and operate the business.
Smart move.
Yeah. Keep the family intact.
Yeah,
And then now in Fredericksburg,
correct.
there's a small town of 10,000.
That's the 10,000.
How far is that?
It's about out from here. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 15. Yeah.
Oh, so you must have a GM, everything going on.
We have a
there.
head coach partner. So we have a partner, and I
Okay.
say we. My wife and I started CrossFit Hugelin with our partner Chelsea, and
How many gyms do you have? Let's just start there.
so I own two gyms.
Okay.
And then my sister owns the Burnett Road location. So I have two.
So there's three under this CrossFit Central umbrella.
yes,
Ish.
if you
Not
will.
not like a legal umbrella, but like
Yes.
under your purview.
Yes.
Okay.
But then let's throw one more thing in there. There's Waterloo Pickleball.
There is Waterloo.
But is that considered a gym?
No.
What's Waterloo? Is that ABBA? You a big ABBA fan?
No, Austin originated as it was called Waterloo. And so that's what the city was.
The town, Austin used
The
to be called-
township was
It
originally
was not
Waterloo.
Austin.
It was not
Waterloo.
Austin. Yeah.
Just makes more sense.
Yeah.
So many things we were not anticipating talking about right now.
Yeah,
The history of Austin.
ABBA being one of them.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a few different brands in Austin, like Waterloo Sparkling Water. There's Waterloo Records.
I've seen
there's
Waterloo.
So there's a lot of
Oh, I
Waterloo
never-
businesses, which is, again, around the founding.
I didn't
Town.
realize that was. I mean, I know of Waterloo. I didn't realize that was here.
Yeah.
The more you know, everybody.
We want to talk about those two main topics, and also you have a big event, FTX.
TFX,
TFX, the Fittest Experience.
the Fittest Experience.
Fittest the Experience.
Rebranding
But
right
we
now.
want to talk about that, and we may be there. Just so you know,
I would love for y'all
Actually,
to
he
be
won't be
there.
able to be there.
Is it in February?
It's the end of January.
January 31st through February 2nd.
Yeah, I can't do it.
he's got to be at Harvard.
Wow.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Harvard educated.
He's doing a presentation?
My boy's wicked smart.
Going to school.
You're going to school?
It's
At
not going.
Harvard?
It's not going well.
No, he's crushing it.
No,
He's
it's
crushing
great.
it.
Yeah. No, they have at Harvard Business School. They have executive programs in there, and they're like what I would call like in the military. They're called gentlemen's courses. Where they're everybody there's like a working professional. So you do like 3-week immersions, and you go back to live your regular life. So it's rad. So
but we might still be able to go.
Yeah, but part of those models some of those I learned when I was there.
Got it.
Yeah.
When he was at Harvard.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, we are at a CrossFit Affiliate Summit here at your gym you're hosting.
Yes.
Yeah, you had a social last night. You were talking mad shit on the pickleball courts.
Are you good?
No.
Is he good?
He's good at talking shit. I don't know if he's any good at pickleball.
I want to start there because I enjoy pickleball. My wife and I were playing pretty frequently till the second child. And we play a little less now, but I think it's a fun sport. What made you make that decision, or what encouraged you to make that decision to, convert? I don't know. Maybe that was the store over there. Correct. So clearly they must have left, and you had to
call it
empty
40%
space.
of your gym ish.
Yeah. So this is 12,000 square feet, 10,000 on the floor, 6,000 CrossFit space, 4,000 2 indoor pickleball courts.
And 2 outdoor.
And then 2 outdoor.
So clearly you said there's a market here.
There's a huge market.
So tell us about it. What's it been like? What's the difference in price? The demographic, has it changed the CrossFit business?
So 12 months ago, we were the master leaseholder, decided not to renew, which gave us the opportunity to step in as the master. And
you were not the master lease in this building. Gotcha.
Originally. And so we took over, and then there was a shoe store running or group that was here. They still meet now out in the parking lot. And my client is a tennis pro that we were, rewind 12 months ago, said, what can I do here? I'm talking to everybody. What can we do here? What can we do here? We're talking specialized bikes. It's a showroom, all these different things. And then we walked outside. My coaches were very committed to pickleball during the pandemic. They had painted lines out in our street, in our parking lot. And we walked outside, and we looked at each other, and we go, pickleball. And it was like this, flash type of scenario. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Great idea. We're not doing it.
I didn't want to do it.
Wait, why? What was your initial gut reaction?
It just didn't. I didn't want to have to manage another scenario and manage people. I don't know anything about it. But she was like, hey, this is going to be huge. We can make it happen. And
because in most instances, you'd be like, do not do that. Occasionally, though, you can hit a home run. And it kind of feels like that's what you guys did here.
Yeah, so I think that the process of it is learning, so the learning curve. And I think the biggest value of pickleball has been starting as a novice, going back to step one and realizing I know nothing.
Right.
And so the pandemic got me into, and being in CrossFit for 18 years, going on 19 years, I became very sound in our practice, how you do it, what you do, when you do it. And this is our game plan. This is our script. This is what we run. This is how it works. And during the pandemic, it worked really well. And then coming out of the pandemic, I know we need to pivot and shift and open back up because we had been very isolated in our community. And pickleball made me realize that I hadn't been networking. I hadn't been connecting with people. There's this new phenomenon in Austin, and I love Austin. I love trends in Austin, from LA to New York to Austin. Usually it bleeds into Austin from these outsides. And the run clubs, the cold plunging clubs, the sound bath clubs, these things are starting to go crazy with
what the fuck's a sound bath?
Sound bath?
Yeah.
So where they do
gong
resonant frequencies and hit these bowls and make sounds, and they'll be this lady's telling me there's 250 people meeting at our hotels in LA gathering around these type of experiences. And so
a lot of drugs going on.
It sounds like something out of Golden Child.
See, this is the crazy thing about this next generation. The bottom half of the millennial to the Gen Zs are all about communal experiences outside of the substance space. So they're not going to clubs and bars the way that they did.
Yeah.
Our generation, they're now socializing in these health wellness clubs and meeting people and connecting and all that stuff. And so I started to see this because this phenomenon in the networking in the pickleball space, like there's pickleball networks that range from 300 to 1,500 people that they gather and get together and connect. And I started interviewing everybody because I was like, I don't know shit. What do you know about this? And I just started asking all these questions, and it just started opening up my mind. And then on the other side, getting on the pickleball court, it was extremely nerve-wracking to me. And then it flipped me over to the other side. Coming into a CrossFit gym, like nothing in the fitness space I've been doing it my whole life. It doesn't bother me at all. And it gave me perspective of how people feel when they walk into a CrossFit, how
empathy.
Intimidating.
Yeah, a little empathy.
Yeah, it completely. And so I was just like shifting my mind about how we present and open up our space. So just a lot of learning and understanding.
So what was the big takeaway of that? So what you're like, oh my shit. Was there something you saw that were like, we're not being welcoming? And I'm putting words in your mouth, but like, what did you learn in that experience that you brought into CrossFit Century? Like, we should change this about how we bring people in, or was there anything?
It wasn't necessarily a change to approach, but it was more about the environment of how we welcome people in.
Okay.
You know, so it's just, again, just being very friendly to invite people into our space. But again, the collective, so this Sunday will be our first Revive and Thrive. So we're doing a free community experience from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We'll be doing similar to what we did Friday night.
Right.
Pickleball, cold plunge, sauna, breath, and then a regenerative workout that's open to anybody and everybody. It's 3 hours. We're going to have a live DJ. We'll have coffee. It'll be a social, communal just experience for people to come in and bring people. So this is like, have y'all seen the coffee and chill movement from Miami? You guys need to get out and wake up, my man. I'm telling y'all.
I need to come to Austin more
Y'all
often.
need to.
There's a movement we're not aware of.
It truly is, bro.
Coffee and chill.
Coffee and chill. Miami is now like, it is that they have 200, 300 people showing up to these experiences. Live DJs, coffee, cold plunging, and it's just this crazy.
I have
There's
so many
lines.
ideas right now that I want to do with other businesses now. What you said a minute ago resonated with just like not networking enough inside your
Existing
community, which is like, oh, there's a brewery and a coffee house right there. Like, we could do a bunch of shit with them. Like, there's another company.
But also giving your own members, because CrossFit, while you have this community, it's like we're working out, we're out of breath half the time.
Right.
Where you're like,
Right.
let's just sip some pickleball. We can talk trash, but talk about our business.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the cold plunge.
Right.
That's interesting. So what coffee and chill? I imagine it's
Exactly
coffee
what it
and
sounds
then
like.
chilling.
Yeah, it's cold brew, chill, coffee, just getting together, live music, all that stuff.
You have that here?
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock.
That's okay.
So we're not independent of coffee and chill. We have Revive and Thrive.
But is there going to be coffee?
Absolutely.
I
chill.
might see if I can make it tomorrow.
And
Yeah.
chill. There's gonna be chill
A
too.
lot of chill.
In the cold plunge.
It's a new rendition of Sunday Fun Day.
That's cool. No,
That's rad.
That's what I like here. I mean, you have 3 cold plunges outside. You got the barrel sauna. I mean, you've got everything going on here. So let me ask about the business. If someone like walks in? Is it a membership for pickleball? Or is it court time?
It is. It's both. You can do a membership where you can it's going to be more cost effective if you just want to come and rent the court for $40
$40 for how long?
for 1 hour.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and then
And how much is a membership?
a membership ranges? Our starting price point's $199.
I was reading the price sheet down there, and I was like,
I need some
damn.
pickleball. I need some pickleball, right?
I'm kicking the weightlifters out. We're starting a pickleball team.
Yeah, so this again is a big so much learning that went about, which was another topic that really lent into where we are now with our private training business. That was another topic I talked to you about, sent over in text about the pickleball space. Now we have my private training coaches that are leading pickleball private training type of like
Fitness training. Because you have an older crowd coming in.
No, it's really it's so different than you can even expect. But these pickleball players that are like they have the duper rating. I don't know if you're familiar with the
like
duper.
1 to 5, is it?
Yeah, and then
Cody has a rating.
So
It's like how good you are
Yeah.
at pickleball.
He has a legit
essentially.
rating, though.
Yeah, no, I think he's a 3.5.
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
know.
so anyone at that 3
What are you?
level, I would say I'm probably like a 2. I don't even know if I'm on the scale, bro. But these guys.
Listen, I want to reemphasize. You were talking so much shit. I was like, this guy's a pro. He's going to be in the world championship for pickleball.
He's the best pickleball player.
He was talking mad shit last
I
night.
love
was
talking
like,
trash.
it was
Yeah,
great.
Pickleball is fun for that, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm any good. So these guys, so they're really like these 3-0 and above, or like they get serious.
Oh yeah, it's fun to watch.
So I consider in the CrossFit space, it's like the RX athlete that thinks they're a games athlete. You know, they're winning the workouts in the gym, and they're like getting real pop, you know, and then they do the open, and they're like on the bottom half, but they like, I'm legit.
Yeah.
You know, I rock it in the gym. I'm putting up the top score, but you get out there and you're like, all right, I'm going to keep it in the gym. And so the pickleball people are very proud of themselves. You know? And so then you get this genre, because again, you just learned you got the recreational, fun pickleballers. Then you hit a certain stride, your skills are getting better, and then you start climbing this ladder, you start doing tournaments, and you might winning.
Travel teams.
And so then it just starts building in the sense of who it is and what they're doing.
I go to a Lifetime back home, and there's about 12 pickleball courts.
Yes.
You see the same thing. Some of the most fun, because they're right by the daycare. So Madison might pick her up, and she's like, let's watch pickleball. I'm like, cool. Like, I'll sit down here all day if you're quiet, and, like, we can just hang. But, like, there's, like, Saturday mornings, these 4 women who are probably in their 50s. Their rallies are incredible.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'll watch, like, athletic dudes who are terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, it's a fun sport to watch. It's hard.
But going back to what you're saying, like, significant impact on the training side, like, not a little bit of business.
So again, it bridges. So in learning this whole concept and what it is that we're doing, and so the pickleball space is very much about numbers. So we're a boutique space in the sense that we have 4 courts, 2 indoor, 2 outdoor. The law of numbers, realistically, the best, you need 8 courts to run a great pickleball space.
Okay.
And the reason why is because the services that you can provide. There's people that just want to play with their friends. So you could have 2 courts. It's just book courts, play with your friends. I want 2 courts to do maybe open play where I can just partner up with other people that are playing.
Just random.
Random.
Hey, you're here,
we're
let's
going
go.
to play it, do this. And that's another segment of people that like to play with meet people.
Yeah, just
Then
open.
you have your tournaments, your leagues, your king courts, all these different plays. But if you schedule the tournaments on the courts and the people want to do open play or they want to do just with their friends, they're mad.
It's like having a seminar at the box.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
you got to kick people out.
And you probably, I mean, at 8, you can probably have massive tournaments.
You can. And
so are you going to convert more of the box?
No, well, the original
shutting
was,
down
do
this
we want to
location?
turn the whole parking lot into pickleball courts?
But then you have no parking spots.
Right. So there's a little bit of a controversy there. But so I just
Where are
want
you
to
leaning?
I want to flip this.
Okay.
So
you gonna ask us?
So what is no.
I'll go pickleball.
What truly
Figure out parking.
You're not making any money on those
truly
parking spaces.
has happened that we have started to drive our private training business has grown at 700%.
Wow, yeah, you said that.
Exploded.
Huge explosion. Now this is in a urban downtown market, and that niche is, I've never had this many private training clients in our space working with our trainers. And
you've been open for 18, 19 years?
18 years.
18 years, yeah. So context there matters, right? Which is like you've been at this for a while and you've never had this much PT.
Never. And we weren't as focused on it, but the marketplace for individuals that want to pay for that service.
All right, guys, if you like this content, please subscribe to the podcast. But understand, we work with affiliates. If you are interested in building your business, understanding strategy, building a better community, and building better coaches and careers for them, hit the link somewhere around this video, and we'd love to have a call with you.
Every CrossFit affiliate knows that mindset is either what limits or unlocks an athlete's potential. But the problem is most people can't give you a simple and clear definition of what mindset is. And most coaches don't have a repeatable or practical tool to consistently train it. ENLIFTED is here to help you solve that. ENLIFTED is here to help box owners and their coaches become world-class mindset pros by creating a simple, repeatable system for keeping you and your athletes focused and confident. You see, ENLIFTED's definition of mindset is simple. Mindset is the story that you tell yourself. And our good friend, Mark England, who's the head coach over at ENLIFTED, will show you how simple words and better breathing can help create better stories and ultimately better performance for you and your athletes. If you want your athletes to stay engaged longer, if you want them to be more consistent with their results, if you want your current members to stay with you longer instead of you having to chase down new ones, mindset must be a part of your business toolkit. At Best Hour, we use the ENLIFTED method all the time. We have our own personal program inside of Best Hour, and a lot of our coaches have been trained personally by Mark. We literally use these tools every single day. You see, Elite coaches must have the ability to get past their clients' mindset blocks. Whether it's an athlete who's sensitive about their weight or coming back from an injury, or even if it's something outside of the box that's affecting their performance inside it, you must have the tools to empower that athlete where they need it most. So if you're serious about building a top-tier box with an elite mindset culture, upgrading your team, and supporting clients at every level, Enlifted is for you. Head on over to enlifted.me/best hour and grab your exclusive free mindset training. Enlifted. Mindset simplified, results amplified.
So this is the catch. So pickleball, we can have an average, and this is where I've really dove into the numbers and started to look at per court, we can have about 40 to 50 pickleball memberships.
Okay.
So you go 40, 80, 160, up to potentially 200. So if you have those types of memberships, then you have a range of, say if our average price per pickleball member is $150, okay? And I can have a range of 160 to 200. When I started doing the math on private training membership or a session can range from $100 to $150. And no one has a problem in Austin paying for those price points. So when we ran the numbers, I could have up to 800 PT sessions run a month. Well, it's quadruple the number of pickleball members that we can have.
That's why you made that. I was looking, you have that hybrid membership.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, well, we have that, but the scope of it, what I learned is the private training business on leverage to anywhere from 400 to 800 sessions a month outperforms my pickleball course over and over and over again. And so so I love pickleball. But here's the catch. One of those courts is going to actually turn into private training. Space.
Yeah.
So,
wow, this is where, just to your point, like for affiliate, it's so important to know the numbers.
Dude, you stole the words out of my mouth.
Because on emotion, it would have made perfect sense to go more pickleball. But when you sat there and like did some real math, business owner math, like my mind is blown that you're getting rid of a pickleball court.
It is. And everybody's mind's going to be blown. When this goes, they'll know. Now, I don't know when this is coming out.
Live. This is live,
This
right?
is live, right now. So,
all your pickleball members leave the gym.
The week of Thanksgiving, one of those courts will be converted into private training space.
Do they know this yet?
They do not.
I mean, this will be after, but are they going to be upset?
There will be some people.
And we have a huge pickleball following.
We are massive.
There will be, but this is the awesome this is the opportunity, right? And so like for 6 weeks, I was like kind of like gutted when I realized like, hey, this is the business. This is what we need to do. And I was like, we're gonna lose a pickleball court. It feels like we're failing. Why is this not? But the numbers don't crack.
But with losing one court, knowing that fed into your training, are you worried that that's going to impact the training?
And
what do you mean?
Maybe I misunderstood. The growth in pickleball has facilitated the growth in training.
By the way of showing me the numbers that make me push into
but not
more.
actually.
Yeah,
the
he's actually going to do
people,
more training
right?
now because he's freeing up more square footage in order to facilitate training.
Right, now that the pickleball people are the ones getting trained.
They're a small percentage.
Right, okay, that's what I misunderstood. Okay.
But by the leverage of going, hey, we're growing this private training space, and then starting to do the numbers and realizing the market that is there, because I only... So it's every...
This might help, right? So if you look at those prices down there, he has like the hybrid memberships. Your top one's like $500 a month or something like that. Yeah. So like looking at that...
With membership and training in there?
Yeah, if you have both training, and that didn't even include your private training. Those are just like combo memberships. You get all the things, right? Like you could literally do everything. That's where it's just like, hey, the math tells us we need to convert that space over there because that training is far more valuable from a revenue standpoint.
What's the most expensive membership you have?
So the all-inclusive elite membership is the $499.
What's that include?
So that includes CrossFit Unlimited, Unlimited Pickleball, and the recovery, the cold plunge, and sauna.
How many people would you say are on that?
On that full membership, I would say right now it's like 5 or 6 that purchase that.
Still limited.
It's still,
that's good.
Yeah.
Are there other places? Does the Lifetime around here have pickleball?
Yes.
So people will start to go to...
Yeah, it's an interesting process of the Lifetime memberships that convert and move out of that space depending on what level and what their desire is for the pickleball space. But Lifetime has it all. You know, they have everything that you would want in that sense. Where it moves to here is the boutique specialty of this space and what we're providing in services. And I think that's always what I'm starting to realize is the quality of the service that we're providing really changed the game.
And those like coffee and chill type events where you're trying to appeal to the people that want that communal experience. They may or may not be getting it at a more standard gym, but you can facilitate that as the sole owner of an affiliate. You can have those coffee and chill
this
events.
Speaks to, and you know this better than anybody because you've been around the game for a long time, which is when we talk about this idea of community, like, hey, we have a great community here. I don't think most people think about the fact that, like, hey, if you have great community, you should be able to tangibly show me things that you do that are community-based, right? Like, you can't just blurt out, I have good community. You're like, hey, we have this event, we have this event. Like, if I went and found your social calendar, I bet it's not barren, right? You're like, hey, we're doing this and we're doing those are things that are now tangible components of creating community because community is just creating connection. And you have to intentionally do that. Like, it'll happen here as a byproduct of doing CrossFit, but you need to lean into it. And by doing these things, this is how you start to create really strong community. Right. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, so this morning at 7:30, our first ruck club went out at 7:30. We had 15 people going on a ruck. So we have a run club. So on Tuesday nights, our run club goes. These are all free community. Right. And they're not restricted to our membership. And so the idea is like we could have a 100, 150 person ruck club that it just begins another wave of movement into the city that creates the word of mouth is like, hey, you got to come here, you got to come here.
Yeah, you can do this for free, or if you really want to get better at this, then you probably need to dabble a little bit more in this thing over here.
Yeah. What keeps you so motivated 18 years into affiliate ownership?
Man, it's been a journey. But motivation, man, I want to tap into that. I mean, at the essence of it is the pursuit of excellence in the sense of like bringing my gifts, what I do, why I've been put here on this earth to bring people together and really have them the opportunity to have transformation. And so through like what I believe CrossFit is, it creates a space for people to have transformation. And when I say like, what is my gift? What is my ability is cultivate an environment where people have that, what I call an aha moment where I'm able to do more than I believed I could do. And so in the process of hosting the Fittest Experience, hosting these workouts in the gym, it elevates people's belief in themselves. And that gives them the opportunity to transform. And so doing that over and over and over is like, you know, I'm at some points had shiny object syndrome and go over here, go over there. It's like at the end of the day, what happens on the floor and when we create the environment for people, that's where the transformation occurs. Then we can build into habits. We can create all these opportunities for them to stack what these life-altering, you know, decisions are and build a life that is good. And so I think ultimately, like, you know, it's having the vehicle of transformation that occurs and then, you know, entrepreneurship, business, relationships, and just fighting, you know, like just fighting for it. That all just drives me and gives me the desire, you know?
Yeah, no, I think Fern and I talk a lot about defining things.
Yeah.
Right? And I think this is such a cool example because if I were going to, there's about 100 affiliate owners here, maybe more, and say, like, what's a community builder feel like? I'd be like, this.
Yeah.
Right? I'm trying to watch him and figure out, like, what is he doing that's doing that, right? Like, because you're doing so many, it's you, who you are. But when we talk about defining, if we're like, hey, be like Jeremy, they'd be like, what does that mean?
Just be really good looking
and
fit. Like, what are we talking about?
But it's like you're doing so many little things that you can define. Like,
that's going back to this the community component. When you say community, I'm like, it seems robotic, but you're like, hey, community is like we would create environments and interactions and these coffee and chills and like it's not by accident, right? It might happen by accident at first, but if you want to really grow it, it's no longer.
After 18 years, it's not an accident.
It's not an accident anymore. It's intentional, right? And that's what is cool to see you doing this is you're leaning more heavily into that. I would argue, I mean, just from hearing you talk, it's like leaning more heavily into the community than maybe even the CrossFit because the beauty of this whole thing is the shit works.
Mm-hmm. Right, you don't have to really touch this.
Right, it works.
Like, but if you build the community, like you're saying, allowing people to ruck for free with our group or run for free, they'll find this thing and then just accidentally get fit. Mm. But you have to lead them to it.
Yeah.
Was that the genesis behind TFX?
Well, I think the genesis of TFX was just the passion for the sport.
Okay.
Then it just continues to evolve.
So tell
and
everybody
evolve.
what that is, by the way. So.
Right. So the Fittest Experience is an event that we host, and it's evolved over 17 years.
It's been around 17 years.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome story. So, our tagline for TFX, the Fittest Experience, is no quit. And I'm just stubborn to a degree that I just won't quit. and it's like I always say, like, you can quit, but you can't quit. And so I went to the first CrossFit Games in 2007.
You signed up and
I
participated.
signed up. Yes, I did.
How'd you do? We talked about this on the first show.
The first year, I think I got like 6 or 7.
That's great.
Top
Yeah.
10?
Top 10. And there's only 25 guys, so it was pretty good.
How many years
Top
did
out.
you do?
I did 7, 8, 9 as an individual. And then I was regionals in 10, 11, and I was on a team at the CrossFit Games in 2012.
Very cool.
Cool.
Yeah. So, rewind, I started in triathlons in college. So I was a big weightlifter and powerlifter in high school, football. I went to college and said, I want to do something totally different. So I got into triathlons and swim, bike, run. I was horrible at all 3. But it was really cool because I did all this powerlifting and strength training and conditioning, and then the endurance built me into the person for CrossFit.
Yeah.
And so I was
yeah.
involved in triathlons, and I was the vice president of the triathlon club, and I just kind of get myself into leadership roles, and we were putting on triathlons, and I was learning the event side of things. I was like, okay, I love this. I love putting on events. And so when I found CrossFit and I went to the CrossFit Games, I was like, well, shoot, I have this huge back experience of helping. This is my fit. And so I said, let's do a CrossFit version, and I called it the Fittest Games at the time. And then we did it over a 3-month period because I didn't know you could do 3 workouts in one day. That is like
Foreign. Like nobody would do that.
Nobody would do that. So we did 1 event each month for 3 months, and then the winner of those 3, we sent them. It was like a training to go to the CrossFit Games in 2008, and then so happened my wife won at the time. My girlfriend won that.
She didn't know the workouts or anything.
No. So, so it was 2008 was the first year that we ran it. And then I think it was the 3rd year. It might have been the next year. Someone was like, hey, are we doing the Fittest Games again? I was like, oh, yeah, we need to do it. We put up the registration. And within like 24, 48 hours, it was sold. All divisions sold out. And I was like, holy crap, where are we going to do this? We got to put the workouts together, and
It's happening.
it's on. And, just from the CrossFit Games, we were super competitive teams, individuals. We'd have 3 or 4, 5 individuals competing. Our team would be in the top 10 every year. So we just had a following in the sport, and it just started growing and growing and building. And so it's just something that we kept doing. And over the period of time, we got up to about 500 athletes is when it was like kind of like the max that we could support and do.
And that's at one physical location event.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
a lot of athletes, dude.
So what's it look like this year?
Well, this year we'll have 1,200 competitors at championship. This will be the first year the team division will be larger than the individual division.
Where are you
And
hosting that?
It'll be out in Taylor, Texas, about 45 minutes from here at the Wilco.
Okay.
So you fly into Austin
You can fly in Austin.
and then drive out to
Yep.
Wilco?
Yep.
Or Taylor, Texas?
which is Round Rock. It's northeast
Oh, it's
Austin.
north
Oh,
of
Round
yeah,
Rock.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we were
Yeah,
for
it's
the
about
games.
20
Yeah,
minutes
yeah.
where the Rogue Invitational
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Rogue.
Like
yeah.
Hutto's out there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're right next to that. And so, but the cool part is the process, right? It's the process to do it. So in event production, what you learn real quick is that it can be your greatest asset and your biggest liability. I was like, this isn't going to work well if we get, a storm or anything that sets us up. So I was like, we need to really build a season. And that's what we have our online qualifier. We have 3,000 people that do our online qualifier. That brings in revenue to help us build our staff and pay and do all that.
Yeah.
And then 3 years ago during the pandemic, we started our TFX throwdowns. Those are our micro events I call that range from 30 athletes to 150 athletes in CrossFit affiliates.
We hosted at our event, and then we had a group. We had a team come down last year.
And
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Like, it was awesome. They loved it.
So the TFX throwdowns, we give education blueprint of building it up from 10 weeks out, marketing, like setting dates, getting your core team set. Who are the key people that you need to host a world-class event? Last year we introduced Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. You can run 3 lanes. You can run 5 lanes. You can run 6 lanes. You can have the minimal 30 athletes, because what we found is you can cap out at 150. That's as large as it gets. But people that were getting like 40 people, they're like, this isn't a success. It's like, no, it's about small hubs producing this great event in your box. And so my gym in Fredericksburg ran it with 3 lanes. They had like 35, 40 competitors, and it blew everybody's socks off. And my wife is our manager, the biz ops out there with our partner. And the first thing that happens is, this is the structure, this is the systems. And that our partner is like, oh, well, we're a little gym. We don't need to do that. We don't do that. My wife's like, no, this is what we're doing.
This is how you run the event.
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And they did it. And after the fact, they're like, oh my gosh, like everybody's minds were blown at like, I can't believe we pulled this off. And all the spectators and all the people that came through, and they had vendors and all that stuff. So it was a huge success for them, and everybody's looking forward to the next one. And so last year we had 25 hosts for our event. And the ultimate goal is to get to 100 hosts nationwide, and go international, where we have micro events happening. Last year we had around 900 competitors do our throwdowns all on one day, the first weekend of June.
Yep.
And really at capacity, that could produce, you could have 2,000 athletes compete. It would be larger than our championship. But the tools is this, it grows leaders in their boxes to run events. It brings the geographical region to their space. It elevates the affiliate community.
Right.
Because those things create those aha, like, wow, we got to do this again. People get super jacked and excited. And then for us, it also helps facilitate volunteers, judges, staff that come out and help us support our event. Because that was the big aha moment I had, was like, our event is really an affiliate event.
That, I think, is the coolest part about the whole thing. Like, as you're talking through that, I'm like, again, this is kind of like going back, hey, what business are you in? And you're like, oh, we're doing a competition. He's like, no. He's like, we're in the business of building up the affiliates via these events, right? It's just like, doesn't matter what the event is, but like, we're trying to make you a leader to bring all these people together and bring local affiliates to you, introduce more people to the sport so they can come into the affiliate and they can change their lives. That's really rad, dude. That's awesome.
Right on. Yeah, I think that truly for the sport to grow and to become a long-lasting sport, it's about the on-ramp. How are we getting more athletes introduced? The Open is great, but then they have to go and compete in a competition.
Right.
Well, they're not going to go to Wadapalooza. They're not going to go to the Fittest Experience, because those are the smaller percentage. They're not ever going to go to the games. So we got to create this environment that they can come and compete, that is a world-class experience, and then that lights the fire, and then they start to build. So if we have all these micro events going on, it's going to build the on-ramp, because the curriculum, because just like what y'all are doing in business,
right,
there's a curriculum to the sport. How do I start? What are the 32 movements that I need to do to build my capacities? Get the roadmap right now is you got to find a coach or a box and start to like piece it together. The person that's pieced it together, they figured out, well, there needs to be a playbook, a simple play. This is how you advance and develop your skill in the sport. And then we can get a much more robust, sport that's happening for the amateur. And so my whole the Fittest Experience is an amateur competition to build the amateur sport, and then there's going to be the athletes.
People will come out of the amateur sport.
Because we have athletes that have gone through our program that have essentially, they started as an intermediate, RX, went pro, and they're competing at the CrossFit Games, and they started in our event structure. And so I just think that this is what it's going to take to build infrastructure to grow the sport for the long term. So that's ultimately the goal.
That's very cool. Hey, before we wrap up, what's been your best memory at the games? You competed many years. What was your favorite memory?
Man, I just got chills.
See what I did there?
Yeah, bro, you brought it.
You shook them.
No one never, because it's history. But in the tennis court.
So 2010?
In Carson.
Yeah, in Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Carson, California. Like maybe like you came in early. And this is like, again, I'm getting goosebumps. You come into California. If you're from Texas, you've not been to the beach too much. You're going maybe that Wednesday. You're out on the beach, the sea breeze. You're just like in the vibe. You got the skin, tan. Then you're in. It's a night. The air cools down. You're in the tennis courts in Aromas.
Under the lights.
Not Aromas. In Carson, under the lights. and you're packed in there with, I think it was like 4,000 people maybe.
Nothing matches the tennis stadium.
It was so cool.
It was so cool. And you look around, everybody's fit, everybody's so bought in. So like everybody is there watching this thing, and you just have the epic athletes, because the battles back then with the Rich Froning, the Matt Fraser, the Khalipa, like that time frame, it was just these epic battles. And so that just not maybe in just an exact experience, but just being in the tennis court with your people, with the cool California air, and just being like, this is CrossFit. This is the community. This is the bloodline, right?
Dude, so, I just got goosebumps.
I know, we're all getting them.
Dude.
So that to me is what environment can create.
That's really cool. I think then that's lost on a lot of the people that found CrossFit in the Madison era.
Right.
Or now, like you got to go back. It's all on YouTube.
Dude.
Right?
There's some
you got to
there's
watch
some epic
like
shit.
that first Isabel. No, not Isabel. Amanda. That was the first nighttime. You did that. That was the year you were there?
I was not in there. I was not there that year.
That year?
Yeah.
That's the one Khalipa like ran off the.
Yeah, he's like snatching off the
screen.
Distance.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that, because I remember literally watching that at my monitor. Like you couldn't watch it on the TV at the time. Like there was no like broadcast.
But like
to your
later,
TV.
like judging, like being on the floor for things like the clean ladder, where like you like I can't ever remember like being in a physical space where you could feel the energy the way that you could in some of those events where like it was like piercing your body. You're like, bro, like this is so intense right now. Like everything about this is just pegged to 10. Like it was just awesome.
And really to give perception to that was because in 2010 when we moved to Carson, it was like there was like the stadium was 30% full.
Right.
Yeah.
And you looked around and be like, dude, they screwed up. Like, this is not good. Fast forward 3 years later.
Not even. I think it was probably the next year.
It's like Reebok came in.
Yeah.
It just and then you saw where it came from, and that's the best part of my whole journey is being in this. I can say I was at the origins of the beginning of a movement that changed everything in an industry.
You're an OG and you're a legend because, I mean, it feels cool for me because you're like one of the people I was like refreshed in 2007 and 2008 when there was no video and just see your name, you and Spieler, right? And, James Fitzgerald at the time, like Khalipa, like, you only knew names. But then once in a while, there'd be a video of you popping up. So it's cool and it's really even cooler to see what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing your evolution too, because I think many people never evolved. It was like, I do this thing, I'm really great at it. Now I'm not, so I'm out. We're like, cool, what's the next evolution? And now it's paying it forward via the community, via these other events where you're creating the next tier, the next generation of those people. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, dude. We appreciate you, bro.
More than you know. This is good energy.
There's a lot of energy as well.
A lot, for sure. Maybe not good, just a lot. No, but I mean, like, we talk again about, like, defining. So, on the team, we're, like, productive. We use that one a lot. Like, what's my definition of productive is different than his, different than Marcus. So we butt heads because we're like, this isn't, well, it is productive, but we have to quantify this.
Energy. We have to figure out.
Because if more affiliate owners were this, they'd be better.
Yeah. So
that's it.
We'll end with this.
So you own 18 boxes.
One piece of advice. One piece of advice to give to affiliate owners out there from one of the oldest in the space, one of the most experienced in the space,
and doing it the best,
and doing it really well for a long period of time. So sustained, what we call sustained superior performance.
That's a Harvard thing. That's a Harvard thing.
No, it's a military thing, actually. What would one piece of advice that you'd give affiliate owners? Old, in the middle, and new.
Oh, 3 pieces of advice.
No, just one piece of advice that goes across all 3 of them.
Wow. You do have to love. You have to be creative for what you do. If you're not committed to what it is, it's not going to last because nothing is easy. And I show up here Monday and Wednesday. I wake up at 4:10 a.m. on Monday and Wednesday to date and coach the 5:15 class. And if you told me like on a 110, like when are you going to, I love it. I show up here. I'll have anywhere from 12 to 24 people here on a Monday, Wednesday morning at 5:15, and I love it. I'm shooting videos the last week of me dancing in the gym before people are here because I literally, genuinely love to be here when people start walking in the door.
That's awesome.
And so that in itself, and on the second, this is that you have to evolve, you have to upgrade, you have to continue to do courses like what y'all have. You have to continue. I am constantly.
You're a big reader.
Reading, podcasting, developing, masterminding, talking with other business owners, looking outside of our industry just to advance, because that's what it's going to take. Because I think we're on another trend shift right now. We're on a trend shift, and I want to be there because I want to be here in 10 years.
Yeah.
You know,
that's really cool. Dude, thank you. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great.
If you guys enjoyed this, subscribe to the podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Big thanks to our friends at ENLIFTED for supporting today's show. ENLIFTED provides elite affiliates and coaches with practical, powerful mindset tools that can transform your clients, your culture, and give you and your athletes an unshakable edge. Learn more by signing up for your free mindset training at enlifted.me/best hour.
Welcome to the Best Hour of Their Day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez
and me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
as both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better boxes. Welcome to
the Best Hour of Your Day.